Briarhold was a village that kept to itself. People woke with the sun, locked their doors at dusk, and tried not to ask questions that wouldn't improve their lives. But everything changed on the evening a mysterious woman walked into town, alone, silent, and carrying a bent, weather-beaten umbrella even though the sky was perfectly clear. She didn't introduce herself. She didn't negotiate. She simply asked who owned the abandoned mill and rented it before anyone could warn her that the place wasn't normal. The mill had been empty for years. The river that once powered it had shifted course, leaving it stranded on dry earth. Kids dared each other to peek inside, but even they stayed away after hearing things scrape across the floorboards at night. The woman didn't hesitate. She stepped through the door, and for the first time in decades, the lanterns inside flickered to life on their own. People watching from the road said she didn't light a single one. By the next morning, chalk symbols appeared on the mill's outer walls, circles within circles, grids that looked like maps, and most unsettling of all, an eye with a crack running straight down the center. Most villagers brushed it off, outsiders passed through occasionally, and strange people were easier to ignore than understand. But things escalated. Livestock refused to drink from the wells, dogs growled at empty corners, and every night someone heard faint tapping coming from the mill. Slow, steady, almost rhythmic. A brave boy followed the woman one morning as she traced the village boundary, umbrella tapping lightly on the dirt. Without turning around, she spoke. "You shouldn't stand behind broken things. They tend to fall toward you." The boy ran home. Hours later, a dead oak tree collapsed exactly where he had been standing. Shaken, the council sent a man to demand answers. He entered the mill at noon and returned minutes later, sweating as if he'd run for miles. He insisted the mill was wrong inside. The hallways were far longer than the building should allow, rooms folded in on themselves. The cracked eye symbol glowed faintly on the floorboards. When pressed, he muttered only one phrase. "She's not mapping the mill. She's mapping us." No one believed him, but no one volunteered to check. At dawn on the 7th day, villagers found a single sheet of paper pinned to the notice board. It was old, creased, and written in precise strokes. It wasn't a warning. It wasn't a plea. It was a map of Briarhold, only not as it was now. The river ran directly through the village in the drawing, sweeping across homes, cutting through the market, drowning the lower fields. Every building along the river's path was marked with the cracked eye.